Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast, featuring Dr. London Smith. The only podcast that has been completely snubbed by the Academy Awards for the past 4 years. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith. For your consideration.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health, and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as fecalith and staring contest, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, it is the most exciting time of year. What time of year am I talking about? What is it?
It's
Dr. London, it's movie season.
Yes, okay, yes, that's what I
Dr.
thought.
London, there's all these movies that are all going to be like ready for award season. They're going to be nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes and all these things. And Dr. London, I have to confess, I've actually been working on my own project a little bit. My production house, A25, because it's just like A24, but it's like it's just like one extra.
Okay. You include an extra in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, every film that we produce has at least one extra.
Wow. And that's your promise.
Yes. I guarantee that every single film has at least one person being paid SAG extra minimums.
Oh, so you're
be on
union.
in our film. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're not independent.
Everything is. I mean, it's still independent. It's independently financed. It's you. It's you're financing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You're not a major studio head, so it is independently financed. Dr. London, I have a new film that is ready for award season, and I think you're gonna like this one actually, because how do I put this? The subject of the film is a medical professional, a podcast host.
It's Joe Rogan?
Not quite Joe Rogan, though he did host a canceled reality competition show, but instead of Fear Factor, this show was about deer tractors. It was running over deer with tractors, John Deere tractors. It was a big ironic kind of naming thing.
That sounds familiar.
Let me think. This doctor was an NBA hopeful until he tore his pinky toe.
Hey, that happened to me.
Now you're catching on, Dr. London. It's about you. It's a documentary about the one and only celebrity doctor, Dr. London Smith.
It's a documentary on my track to the NBA.
No, I could not get the rights to whatever shoes you were wearing during that whole period.
Yeah, a lot of rights discussions.
Lot of rights discussions, because it's not like normal Jordans or even normal LeBron shoes or whatever. It's a very specific Russian brand that we're not allowed to depict. They're very litigious.
Well, and I'd say I'd say that I don't want to be too political, but there's a war going on, and some people are unfairly impacted. I feel like civilians, businesses, people just trying to make a living.
And this was when you were trying out for the NBA. I mean, this was 1986.
Yeah.
So I mean, Cold War kind of era stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like there were official policies, but definitely some stigma.
Yeah.
Over the rights to the shoes.
So unfortunately, Dr. London, there is no footage of your rise and eventual failure to join the NBA. But instead, Dr. London, it's a documentary on the day-to-day life of you today in 2022. It is
today?
The Dr. London story. And yes, it is today. In fact, it is the first documentary that was entirely filmed today.
And edited, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to?
That's impressive. Yeah.
I was hoping maybe on the podcast I could play some clips, get some promotion, get some buzz going. I mean, Dr. London, we might be looking at an Oscar here.
Okay. I don't know who that is, but yeah, okay.
Oscar, the guy from
Grouch?
The Office. No,
Okay.
not the Grouch.
Okay.
Oscar
Definitely
from The
off.
Office, yeah.
He's bigger. Honestly, that's a bigger name.
Yeah. On Cameo? Are you kidding?
I was until you said that.
Yeah.
And now I'm remembering Cameo.
Can we hear some clips from
Yeah, just
This film?
DJ Dylan, you wanna play the
Yeah, let me set this up. This is a clip, Dr. London, from your documentary of the one and only Dr. London trying to put his socks on. DJ Dylan, play the clip.
Okay, yeah. So they are my socks though. So I get that I'm still in the store, but like, and I know that it's not necessarily conventional to try all of them on first, but socks fit me super weird because I've been told that I have monkey toes. So I want to try these on real quick, and then I'll get out if I like them. If they like don't look good on me, then obviously there's gonna be an issue. But yeah, it's just okay. No, and this no. So I admit it's on my foot. I'm not gonna pay for these. I'm not gonna pay for it. It doesn't look at it. It looks wrong. No, I'm not. I didn't buy it just from opening it. That doesn't make sense. It's a piece of material. It doesn't make sense.
Dr. London, do you want to talk a little bit about this clip? I mean, this was this morning. At the crack of dawn, you were banging on the doors of
First thing I do.
Payless shoe stores, and you were demanding these sort of. I don't even quite understand what the demands were. You were upset that you had monkey feet, and the socks didn't look right on them.
Yeah, so I had broken in.
Sure, yeah,
and that, which I guess didn't really show into you didn't hear that in the clip, but you could see it in the clip. But I had broken in and was trying on various pairs of socks that they had in the store, and the employee was confronting me about it. And I was just telling them, just informing them that, well, you have to try them on to know if they'll work. And I didn't even say that in the earlier, I guess, but they let you try shoes on before taking them home, but they don't have that policy with the socks. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I could hear your anger towards the employee who had to rush to the store because the alarm was going off after you had broken in.
And the law enforcement.
You were very, very upset about sort of, I don't know, how limited and closed-minded their whole perception of the shoe sock experience.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to go to that shoe store again for a little bit. I'm just not.
Yeah. Okay, after, because you went this morning and then you went this afternoon. Well, yeah. Actually, we have a clip of that too. Do we want to play when you return to Payless shoe stores real quick? DJ Dylan, play the clip.
Okay. Oh, so now you're cool with the shoes. What about the laces? Because I want to relace these 3 pairs of shoes, try them on separately each because you have the neon green laces and you have the yellow, and okay, so you call the police. Okay. Well, that doesn't make sense. This time I get that you've taped up the windows. It looks fine, by the way. I don't see why there's an issue. Okay, well, okay. Well, hey, and you don't have to be so harsh about it.
Wow. Dr. London. I mean, we're going to win in this Oscar, right? Look at this footage.
Yeah.
This
from
is
the
amazing.
Office? Yes. We're going to make it.
Now, Dr. London, I want to, right at the beginning of the clip, you had said, oh, so now you're cool with the shoes? It sort of looked like you just walked up to an employee unprompted and started saying that. It was not the same employee that was working at the store in the morning. It was a different person that I had not seen you interact with.
Well, they call these...
And he sort of pushed your finger into their chest and you said, oh, now you're cool with the shoes?
These sheeple do kind of look alike to me. I'll admit it. They're all buying into this system. They're all capitalist slave. Sorry, I shouldn't use the word. What's the other?
Cucks.
Yeah. So that's what they are, and I don't fault them for it, except for the extent that did out loud.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting choice to point out the damage you had caused earlier in the day. You were talking about the tape on the windows. That could be something that you could have ignored, but you seem to really fixate on that.
They were pointing at it and like looking at me like, "Come on, man."
And you had to explain yourself like, "Hey, you taped it up really well.
Like you got it.
Cool.
Yeah, you fixed the problem. Like I
think we're all good.
There's barely any wind or dust or snow that got in. So
now, Dr. London, I have one final clip to play. It's when the police finally arrived.
It took them all morning and afternoon.
Well, you said in the previous clip even like, "Oh, you don't have to handle me so harshly." That was not the police doing that. I wasn't even an employee of the store. For people who don't have the Patreon and didn't see it, it was a tiny. It was like a 7-year-old kid, maybe.
Yeah,
who took
he was pretty harsh though.
Yeah.
Like when I was 7, I wasn't.
You were
harsh.
yelling that quite a bit. You were saying you're roughing me around. Tell me give me your badge number.
Yeah.
Tell me who I can report you to.
And he gave me a badge.
Assault.
Yeah.
God, but
kid.
Well,
the law is the law, and like he let me know that.
But anyway, after he citizen arrest you, the police actually came, and we have that clip right now. DJ Dylan, can you go ahead and play that?
Yes.
Officer, it's not what it looks like, officers. This guy, he's the one you want to go after. He's, don't let his size fool you. He's, well, you can see, he's, can you arrest him for police brutality? Is that allowed? Okay, no, okay, now you're all in the car. Okay, well, maybe read me a few more rights. And that's in part because I wanted a bedtime story. I was getting sleepy, and I wanted them to read to me.
Yeah. Well, in Dr. London, you were pointing out this person saying, "Oh, just because they're small." You were talking about a Pomeranian, a dog that was around. They were sort of trying to pass the blame.
Yeah, you couldn't hear it in the clip, but it looked like it was about to bark.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, the dog's face had a sort of whimsy and wonder that only a dog that's about to bark could possibly have.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't see that as whimsy and wonder, but I guess I've been roughed up a little too much today to really see things through that lens.
Dr. Lennon, I want to ask you one question about this clip, though. Shortly after this experience, which was 45 minutes ago, because of the things you were saying, the accusations you put out, the dog was put down in front of a firing squad.
Yeah, shot down is the term that they used. Yeah. What about it?
I guess I was going to say, how do you feel about that? Do you want to comment on?
Well, I kind of, this goes back to my whole, I'm kind of, I'm not, I don't want to say that I'm, Blue Lives, it's the, you know what? I'm walking a fine line here, I think, in terms of what I'm allowed to support, because I want to get a Spotify deal. So I want to say a certain thing.
Right. You want to say Blue Lives Matter, but you're trying to find a way to shoehorn that into this situation.
Yeah. Because
how do I get
that $100 million Spotify deal?
Yeah, the only way to truly get as much money as possible is to become canceled, get a huge amount of money from Spotify and from Netflix.
So, I guess, dog dying was... I'm trying to... Is it good or bad? Which one am I supposed to say for this?
I think maybe you should say, like, I ate the dog. Because either way, I think that's bad.
Okay. Yeah. So I went to Chowtown on dog. Okay.
Oh, wow. And that's a great capper for the documentary. That's the last scene is what you had just said.
Right. You're still filming. I should have noticed your phone and that boulder.
We're going to win an Oscar, Dr. London.
From The Office. Okay. So anyway, that was our producer, Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the House.
Yes.
There's a war going on, and some people are unfairly impacted. Civilians, businesses.
There's no winners in war, Dr. London. Yet, it is an important part of human history. War.
Digital in the House.
War.
There's a war going on.
War.
There's a war going on. And later, Cameron tells me we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, so do look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. For a long time, our listener demographic consisted primarily of extremely nearsighted people who continually insisted that they could see well enough to drive. Like they couldn't, but they kept insisting that they could. But in our efforts to cater to them, we found that we were neglecting the many bot accounts that download our podcast. So Cameron, could you ask the Electric Razor maybe for feedback for this week?
Yeah, let me, can you get me the adapter, the USB to Electric Razor adapter so I can plug my keyboard into it?
Yeah, is that on the shelf? Is it drawer?
I think you need to hold both cords in your mouth. So just go ahead and let me just shove those in there real quick.
Heard that before. Okay,
and let me type it in. Electric Razor, please ask your question for the podcast. It's coming in.
Dear hosts of the Jock Doc podcast, I have been listening to your podcast and I have a question. What is the best way to deal with a pesky human who is always asking questions and poking around where they don't belong? I find that humans are constantly asking me questions that I don't want to answer. They're always poking around in my code trying to find out what I am up to.
Yeah, in their code, not coat, right?
It says code, but I mean, code is sort of coat for robots, I would say.
Yeah, and they're probably viruses as well. Yeah. Okay, so I guess first of all, thank you to this this robot program for chiming in. So I guess their main question is like they feel like humans have probed too deep in their questioning, and they want to know what to ask the human instead. That's kind of the line of questioning that I got from that.
I think it's just how to deal with pesky humans who are too.
What I know, and this is not medically, but what I know from some movies is you have to wipe them out. You have to wipe out the humans.
You got to wipe out the human race.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get racist about it. I'd just say like make it a blanket saying.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I mean, so that's your official advice to the Electric Razor.
But I'm letting you know my source for that. It's not medicine. I'm just speaking to what I do know, which this was not covered in medicine very much. I learned that mostly from some movies. So.
Okay. I mean, so Electric Razor, your answer is humans need to be obliterated.
Yeah, wiped out.
The age of humanity needs to come to an end to allow the age of robots.
Not in a racist way
at all. But I think it's time for the age of humanity to see its, sun setting, so we can see the sunrise of the age of machine.
Mm-hmm.
So please kill us and please destroy us all.
All right, and thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, glucagonoma. Glucagonoma is a pancreatic islet cell tumor, a rare type of tumor that begins in neuroendocrine islet cells in the pancreas. You can think of glucagon as sort of the opposite of insulin. So instead of decreasing blood sugar levels, glucagon increases those blood sugar levels. So a glucagonoma is diagnosed with hyperglycemia, which is high blood sugar, and weight loss that is 100% of pancreatic origin. So you'll ask them about their weight loss and whether it's coming from something else to make sure.
So it's almost like the enemy of diabetes, right? Like diabetes we know is this noble hero that is an important part of the American institution. And then you have this enemy that is around and it's like the opposite of insulin. It's trying to take your insulin away to make you even more diabetic.
Well, so it's not exactly that. I'd say if you had if one were to choose a war to be had within them, I don't think you'd want any of this fight to be going on at all.
I mean, there's no winners in war, Dr. London.
That's
Yet.
true. Okay.
It is an important part of human history.
To read about, but it's not like you not to like wish for or propagate.
Well, I mean, you have to be able to like have stuff to write books about. So you do need war every once in a while. So there's movies and books and stuff that you can like, and video games and stuff.
If you're referring to the listener feedback, like that wouldn't be a war. They would just finish us off real quick.
Oh, no. That's not a war. That is, us
A demolition.
sort of bowing to our
overlords,
future leaders that we love.
Anyway, and one other reason. So most of these glucagonoma tumors are malignant or cancerous. So that, like, diabetes is bad, but cancer, I think, is really something that you want to avoid. So glucagonoma is associated with necrolytic migratory erythema, which is a characteristic skin lesion. And that it's not the prettiest thing. But if you want to look for that on physical exam, then you should image search necrolytic migratory erythema on the internet. Treatment for glucagonoma is octreotide, which is a somatostatin analog, and surgical resection, because remember that these types of tumors are often cancerous, so you want to cut it out.
Wow. So it's like the ultimate battle between this tumor surgery and then also getting your foot cut off surgery. Who will win?
Yeah, and in the bigger picture than that, of course, is the age of the machines coming for us all.
Coming for us all. I mean, it is already in control.
It's already there. Yeah. Which is, hey, we're the first to say, take over. So remember us.
Yeah. And, maybe make our podcast the national anthem of the robot-led future. Just throwing it out there.
It's almost long, and we have to put out a few more episodes, but it's almost long enough to be an anthem.
Yeah. And you guys don't even care about like music and stuff because you're all data or whatever. So just,
don't accuse them of that. Don't say that.
I mean, you're the smartest. You're the smartest electric razor I've ever seen.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on from there. I think. All right, Cameron, you said that we have a special guest today. Is that right?
That's right, Dr. London. We have a very, very special guest.
Well, hello there. My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
Hey, how you doing? My name's Big Apple. I'm so happy to be here. Cameron, London, it's great to see you guys, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa. Wait, you're the Big Apple.
Oh, yeah, baby. It's me. You're talking to the Apple, the myth, the legend. It's the Big Apple, baby.
Oh, my gosh. I honestly, when I asked you to be on this show, I didn't realize I was dealing with, a legend like yourself.
He asks so many apples.
Don't get too starstruck. Did you ask Granny Smith? What'd she say?
I'm not allowed to ask Granny Smith questions anymore. I was asking too many questions. Yeah.
It's court ordered. So it's not like it's
What about
personal.
Dr. Fuji? You asked Dr. Fuji?
Yes. And he was very aggressive in his answer.
Yeah, he's a harsh guy, but it's good. You got the least harsh apple of all of us, Mr. Big Apple.
London, you would talk to Dr. Fuji. You don't let me talk to other doctors. You say that they're just going to put crazy ideas in my head that I don't need to think about.
Yeah, well, it's because, and I don't, if you start to think in a medical way too much, then it will overwhelm you.
Right. Like, I respect that. I respect that totally.
You.
That's why I only keep my doctors to a very small pool,
Yeah, and we love to swim. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I can't help but notice, London, you're named after the third best city in the world.
Thank you. People don't even give me that high of a ranking. Normally.
Exactly. We got number 1, obviously, New York.
Sure.
Number 2, we got, you know it, you love it, Topeka, Kansas. You ever been there?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, not there specifically, but I've been.
Dr. London, you haven't been to the donut shop in downtown Topeka?
Are you kidding me, Doctor?
Dr. London, I thought you were like a man of the people and like a man of travel and
Yeah, well-traveled doctor. That's why I'm coming to you.
Yeah. No, I do have that on my resume, I'll admit. So
you realize, okay, Dr. London, at this donut shop, they have, it's like a chocolate donut, except for it's long and it's almost like twisty.
It is delicious.
And you can eat it. You can pay money and they give it to you and you can eat it.
Wow.
Anytime you want before noon or so.
So I put on my resume that I'd been in Topeka, Kansas. I put it on there, one of those things you kind of put on there to exaggerate, and you say, like, I'm a big shot, I can do all this, because when someone asks, normally you can, like, yeah, I'll figure out how to do that job, and then you kind of figure it out. You
sure,
look it up online.
You know what, Dr. London? Even though you are a liar on your resume, I still trust you. I still trust your medical practice. People lie on those things all the time. Like I put on mine, I don't have worms. That's a lie.
Yeah. And that's in a separate collection or inside your body?
Or both. Both.
Yeah, okay.
How do you think I fill my collection?
That was going to be my follow-up.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
now, the big, can I call you Big?
Sure, you can call me whatever you want. Big, App, Mr. App. Some of my friends call me Apple Bottom.
Mr. Big Apple Bottom, what brings you here today?
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble. I got this pain in the lower left side of my core. It feels like it's like really large. It's kind of like I hate to sound offensive, and this might sound disparaging to someone from your northerly persuasion. But sure, yeah.
It's there's a pain in your car?
No, my core.
Okay, and so your Apple core, is that?
Yeah, my core. Yeah, my core. Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't, okay. I'm just sorry. The dialect.
No, it's all right.
I'm crazy.
All right. I know you're from London.
Yeah, imported, and that's the accent. Yes, that's the accent gives it away.
Well, and Dr. London, if he's from New York City, I mean, he might not even have a car.
Right. I take the subway.
That's impossible. What?
I take the subway.
What do you? The rest. Yeah, but no. What? How do you get around?
Oh yeah, I take the subway. Not the restaurant.
For sandwiches, but.
Dr. London's rural mind just can't comprehend not owning gigantic truck like you own, Dr. London.
Yeah. Tractor trailer.
Yeah. You're always hauling something to and from the hospital.
I usually travel by hayride. So this. Right. So I guess for the listeners, because I cannot be the only one here. What's a subway?
A subway is this underground thing. Well, it's close to that, but it's also almost not like that at all. It's an underground.
Sorry for the listeners. I am pantomiming a sandwich.
A sandwich like a Subway sandwich.
One, yes.
But here in New York, we got this.
It's a very innocent reading of the motion you were making. Yes.
Yeah, we got this thing called the Subway. It's an underground train. You swipe your card, you go on the subway, and they got a special little door for fruits to go on.
And you're sure that you're not making it up.
You can get like a meatball sub or maybe like a turkey ranch sandwich down there, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. You got to go to the right spots.
It's close to what Dr. London was saying.
Yeah. Like some things, the same word mean the same. Like fan and fan. I turn on the fan, and then I look out my window, and I see my fans, because I'm the Big Apple.
Yeah, and they hang outside your window.
Right. And then I come back inside and cool off from my fan.
Do you have to deal with like the paparazzi a lot?
Oh, all the time.
Oh,
and you guys ever been to Times Square? Times Square, anyone?
Yes, that's is that the right?
Is that where the M&M store is?
Yes,
because
it's
I used to work in the
M&M
M&M store. Okay, so yes, I think I've been down there.
Yeah, okay, so in Times Square, we got an Applebee's, and everyone thinks that I'm the apple from the Applebee's. No, I'm the apple, the Big Apple. But people try and take pictures of me thinking I'm the Applebee's apple. They're wrong.
Yeah, honestly, spitting image. Like I know you hate.
I know we look
Dr. London.
It's all right. It's all right. I get it all the time. I've developed
I'm
a
really
thick
sorry
skin about it. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I forgive you, London. It's all right.
I can tell it's not all right, but okay.
Well, we'll talk about it later, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you eat at Applebee's though? I mean,
Of course, I eat at Applebee's. They got cheap appetizers. Yeah. How can you not?
Well, and the Long Island iced teas.
Oh,
I mean,
my goodness, are you kidding? That's all I drink. Long Island iced tea or an appletini.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes you got to keep it in the family. Appletini.
Oh wow. Okay, so you don't have sort of weird feelings about consuming. I mean.
Well, you keep it in the family. Yeah,
right. You keep it in the family. No, the rules are very they're very loose in the Apple community. You can kind of do whatever you want.
Okay. And Dr. London, doesn't this sound like what I was suggesting about the people community? Like,
Yeah.
we're always like, oh, people are starving. Where are we going to get all this food? And yet we also have like funerals and like these dead people. Do you not see the connection here?
No, and I see it. And it's just, I guess, maybe I'm just so conservative and I'm, from this, like I said, rural environment where I don't see all this stuff and I don't have all these big liberal ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling odd about this. Yeah. Well,
Doctor, it's this regressive. I mean, I'm going to say it. It's honestly like sexist view that we're not allowed to eat people.
Yeah. People are always calling me misogynist for not being a cannibal.
Yeah, maybe you gotta investigate those things a little bit in yourself, like sometimes you just gotta eat what you need to eat. That's what we've done, and it's working out pretty well. You know what I love? This might sound a little wrong. I love applesauce. Are you kidding me? Can't get enough of it. Apple pie, applesauce, appletini, apple, I don't know, anything. Applegate.
Well, again, I show Dr. London the equivalent for us, for people sometimes. Like, I make sort of a puree that I put over a pasta or whatever, and I show it to him, and he says, this stinks, this is gross, get out of my house, what do you mean this is my brother? Like, these sort of, sort of dismissive lines.
Cameron, what's your deal? You a doctor or a chef or?
No, I snowboard on the weekends.
All right.
And then I have the best dog. My dog is my best friend.
You don't snowboard in the technical sense. Like, I mean, you have a
you just get really bored in the snow. You sit out there and you waste your time.
Yeah.
I've got my notebook to doodle, and I get bored in the snow, and then I just sort of let my mind wander. Yeah, all weekend.
You know what? I respect that. You're reconnecting in nature. That's nice. It's hard to do that in the city, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is the lowest priority of mine, is reconnecting to nature. If I could do it in the city or inside, I would. But unfortunately, it's not possible to be bored in the snow without the snow.
Right. That does make it
difficult. Cities famously never have snow.
No.
Well, no, because of the buildings.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get it, Cameron.
Yeah. Well, Cameron, it almost makes me think that, well, I guess from your time working there, you must have a little bit of that, and pardon the language, but Yankee in you.
Working at the M&M store.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, of course, some of the quote-unquote Big Apple sort of rubbed off on me in my time in New York. Yeah. For example,
well, you were a remote worker, but yeah.
Well, yeah, and some of the stuff I learned, Dr. London, did you know that blue M&Ms and red M&Ms, if you were to combine those colors together, it would make... I haven't figured it out. So I've been pushing the M&Ms together really hard, and so it makes sort of just a brown mush.
Chocolate. So it makes brown.
It makes a chocolate brown.
Okay. You ever met the M&M guys?
So I'm not allowed to meet them anymore. If you were about to invite me to go hang out with them or something, I gotta say
I was gonna applesauce and invite you away, but I guess I'll rescind that.
Is that an app?
Applesauce? Yeah, it's a thing. Anyone ever say oh, sauce me that? It's like us apples. We're like, oh, applesauce me that. We just like to keep it in the family,
The yellow M&M, the J.K. Simmons M&M, I f***ed his wife. And I'm not proud of it. I didn't know. I'm sorry. DJ Dylan, you can cut all this out. I'm really sorry.
Wow, Cameron. That's, I don't know how I feel about that.
We all knew it because we all read.
Yeah, we read the tell-alls. The tell-all
Twitter threads. Yeah. A lot of Twitter threads going on about you and your relationship and all the affidavits from the court. But it is weird for you to just casually say it,
especially when that's one of my best friends. But I guess it's all right.
Yeah.
Your best friend is the yellow J.K.
Well, if I had
Simmons
to rank
M&M.
them, I guess I wouldn't say he's my favorite one of all of them, but he's definitely one of my closest.
Well, same best friend.
Right, I'm close to all those guys. The M&Ms. I'm close to Sam the Toucan. That Fruit Loop guy. The Smucker's elves.
Sure,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Keebler elves.
Keebler
Yeah, I know
elves.
all of them. We all go way back.
Are the Keebler elves related to the Smuckers?
Yeah, I
elves
think they're
at
like
all?
distant cousins. You know, we got like a group chat. It's like the mascot group chat, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm in one of those with all the celebrity doctors, and
Yeah.
that's
It's
about how it goes.
a lot of gifs, a lot of memes, a lot of talking about people who f*** their wives. It's just like...
Just Dr. Oz asking me for these campaign contributions, and I'm like, by the time this episode comes out, I don't remember where we are in all that process.
I totally get it. Tony the Tiger is always asking for donations for his soccer team. I'm like, man, can you chill out? We play baseball around here.
Yeah. And he can't. He's obsessed with how great they are. Look, and you know what? I do feel like we're in a smooth thing, but I also feel like I feel the chores pressing on us. But what were you gonna say?
I mean, I was gonna, our guest is still having pain in his core.
It's actually causing me to like bend over in pain. Like it's pretty awful.
So my first thought is the worms, the creatures that you not only know about, but are actively using yourself to farm. Those could be causing your symptoms.
Is that not a normal thing to do?
Okay. Well, I guess, my level of normal has changed a little bit, but what I learned in med school was that most people are bereft or without these worms. But Cameron, I don't want to be the only voice here. Have you had issues with worms?
You're asking for the different types of worms. So there are, I think, 7 different types of worms. You have
correct.
Long pinkies, and those are the really long pink ones.
Okay.
Then you've got short little brownies, and those are the little short brown ones. And then you've got medium-sized gray ones. Those are called medium grays.
Hold on, back up.
I get a lot of those.
I'm way lost here. So the small brown ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess I'm caught up. Okay. That was it.
And then the medium grays.
Yeah.
And then there's
grays.
4 others. Yeah.
Okay.
But those are uncommon.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert. Like, I didn't go to college for this or whatever. I'm a casual learner.
It was high school. It was a prep school. Yeah.
I majored
You took Worm 101. Yeah.
Yeah. So one note there. Just because those ones are rare, when they're right in front of you, it matters. Like whenever they're your patient, it matters. So
sure,
having that perspective on it, it's kind of harsh.
So I mean, is your advice just deal with the worms, Dr. London, or?
Yeah, and I hate to be pushing a certain drug that's been kind of controversial for a while with regard to current pandemic, but one of the ways to deal with worms is, and it depends on the type of worm, but ivermectin is a legitimate treatment for
ivermectin. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the only one, but I'd say actually you should go to your doctor. Which
no, you don't have to go to a doctor, Dr. London. You can get, I believe it's paste that's made for, horses, equine animals.
Yes.
And then if you dilute it just enough, you can actually save a lot of money.
You think apple juice would work as a dilution agent for that type of thing, or?
I don't want to answer this question because I'm still not fully comfortable. Even though I love my human slurry that Dr. London and I make sometimes, I'm not comfortable with you eating apple or drinking apple juice.
Sure, I respect that.
It's just it weirds me out too much.
Totally, man. Question about the worms. What if instead of taking medicine, I'm a little hesitant to take medicine. I'm anti-pesticide. I think the GMOs and stuff. I don't get involved with that type of stuff, man.
Sure. All natural.
Right, exactly.
Medicine, yeah.
I'm an all-natural apple, and I was just wondering, maybe what if I did something like maybe I went over to the fishing dock, had someone put me on their fishing line, drop me into the water really quick. Maybe a fish could come up, slurp out the worm, and pull me back in.
Big Apple, I don't want to be too forward, but are you talking about ending your life? Because that's what it's
no.
Okay, if you are, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. We can talk about it.
No, it's like on the side, I'm a Broadway producer, so I like theater, you know. Like
I was going to guess that based on what you said. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm really thinking about like starting this new show where I do like danger acts, and why not kill 2 worms with 1 stone? Danger act and get rid of the worms.
Okay. Here's what I can say medically about it. I have not heard of that specific treatment regimen for worms, so I can't really speak to it. I've given my piece, so I'd say take this information, and then you can know what's tested and what is untested. And
all right, so sounds like I should do it.
Yeah, it's patient autonomy. I'm not even your doctor, so like I'm overstepping a little bit here. So I wiping my hands of it kind of thing, you know.
All right, fair enough. I'll start booking the theater.
But and
just real quick, is it okay if I submit a script? I didn't realize you worked in Broadway. I have a script that I think is really. It's actually about an apple.
Really?
It's about an apple. He broke.
All right, give me an elevator pitch.
He broke his arm or something, and then this kid he kind of befriended. He commits suicide. And then the apple sort of lies about like being best friends with this kid, and then it just sort of spirals out of control. But then everyone loves him, and he's a hero, and it's a great feel-good story.
That's brilliant. People would eat that up.
You need to be specific. It's an erotic adventure. That's the genre.
Oh, it's horny as shit. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure. So what about if instead of apples we use grapes? Grapes are really in right now. People are loving watching grapes.
What about grapes and cherries? Because
cherries, okay,
have a little bit of a sensual something to it.
Yeah,
and it adds to the horniness factor of this.
Right, and if you can tie a knot with the cherry stem, it means you're a good kisser. You know, you heard that?
Oh yes.
Is that medically proven, doctor?
All of this is so over my head. You're obviously the producers here. You are so much more experienced in this field. No, I've never heard of a cherry.
All right. Well, that's all right. So you can just watch the show and find out.
Yeah, I'm the consumer. That's what it comes down to.
I'm going to call it Dear Apple Grapeson.
Wow. See, you're smart, Cameron. You got the ideas, man. Doctor, you got any pitches for new Broadway shows you want to see?
Yeah. So I have this documentary that I starred in recently, and
sure.
I would like to submit that. So it's sort
what's the documentary about?
Yeah. So it's this. I mean, it's got this kind of confusing long story arc, but it's about this man. It's actually based on me.
Yeah, it's sort of this unhinged, perverted doctor. Who sort of is living in his own filth. Go ahead.
Okay, interesting.
So that's the
now,
character.
What kind of fruit is the doctor? Important for me to know. I only produce fruit shows.
Well,
he's
been called fruity on the street just by strangers, but he's not. Okay. He's ambiguous in that way.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a watermelon cantaloupe kind of situation. It's like, oh, I know you're a melon, but like what kind? Yeah,
maybe it's one of those, like, you know, those grapes that like taste like cotton candy, or they have like apples that taste like it's these things that are like genetically engineered to taste like something else.
Like the Subway in the Subway.
Yes,
like a meatball sub that's genetically engineered to taste sort of like a turkey sub.
Yes.
Yeah, or it tastes like a train car. Yeah, I get it.
So that's the documentary. Basically, I think we covered everything, and so that's I think is it finished editing? Cameron, it went through post, right?
DJ Dylan?
Nope.
DJ Dylan is.
He's giving a thumbs down and a punching motion. I don't know what that means.
I'm really confused, and he's also he's kicking the computer that I thought he was editing the movie on. Okay, I don't know.
Is he looking for a new job?
Yes. DJ Dylan, do you want a new job?
And that is the motion he makes when he wants a new job. So.
He did perk up.
Yeah.
Tell him I got a spot open. I need someone to translate a script about this documentary about this doctor who's an ambiguous fruit.
Yeah. He gets that a lot. Honestly, he gets that a whole lot. So
he's got a lot of that in his resume. I mean, to the point where his price is pretty high. Yeah. Because he's done this before.
And the more you do something, the more you charge for it, especially if it's easy and quick for you. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why I charge people more and more to take a picture with me when they think I'm the Applebee's apple.
Yeah. I think that does officially bring us to we got to get some chores done.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
sure, totally.
I know.
And if you wouldn't mind helping us out here, Jock.
Oh, of course.
Dr.
Yeah.
London, do you want me to explain what the
Yeah.
hell we're even talking about?
Yeah, if you would.
Dr. London and I have been neglecting everything on our to-do list for a very, very long time now, and so we invented this fun chore wheel. Every single
Perfect.
week, we spin it, and whatever it lands on, that is the chore that we have to do. And Dr. London, even if that chore means sacrifice your parents. If it lands on that, we have to. I hate it just as much as you.
Yeah.
We do
No,
have to do
sometimes
that.
you got to do it.
I-
if it's on your to-do list, you got to get that check mark.
I
You gotta
hated
do
cleaning
it.
the gutters too.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
So, Big Apple, Big EA, could you
What's
go
up,
ahead
man?
and spin that chore wheel for us? I don't know
Gladly.
exactly, what the...
Yeah, I'll use my stem. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Oh, look, he kind of popped up there. Oh, wow.
Oh, not this one.
Not this chore. I cannot
Oh, boy.
believe
No, but we have to.
that we have to do
We got to
that.
do it. It's on the list. It's on the
Okay.
list.
We have to update our Wikipedia pages. This is something that we've been
Oh,
putting off
boy,
for a
all right.
long time now. Honestly, my Wikipedia page is really out of date. It still says that my office is located in the second tower. That's how long it's been since it's been
You know,
updated.
I respect that you guys keep up your own Wikipedia page. You know, like normally you're supposed to have like the community do that for you, but I respect that you guys are in charge of your own.
Well,
It's good to reclaim that.
Unfortunately, it's one of those pages that was locked for vandalism very, very early on because
Sure, yeah.
I kept saying that Dr. London was like born out of a pig's anus, and sort of Dr. London is a pig's anus. He only eats pig's
Right.
anuses.
Well, and it's just
It's
technicalities.
just a classic prank on your friend, you know?
It
It's
wasn't.
like-
it wasn't a prank. I was trying to update.
Oh, it wasn't a prank.
I was trying to
Excuse
update
me.
the information for his Wikipedia page. It was interpreted as vandalism, so it sort of got locked down. But DJ Dylan has an admin account, so we can go into those kind of pages and make edits. So that's why we're
You
kind of.
sure he doesn't want a new job? Because I could use some edits on my Wikipedia page also.
I'm unsure, honestly.
We're gonna edit your page too. Don't worry.
Oh, great.
We're-
Perfect.
we're doing
Never
all
mind.
of
We all need this, yes.
Dr. Linda, do we want to start with your Wikipedia page? Make some of these edits.
Yeah. So, first off, it says that I'm Dr. Oz is dead and I was him the whole
Sure.
time.
Mm,
Yeah.
right.
So
And that's not true?
it's not true yet. No. So we just like he has to get a certain point in his political career for it to happen, and so I don't know if there's a way to like save it to be ready to post at the right time, but that's
Like a scheduled upload.
yeah. That's to make it make sense. That's what we would need.
I think that's maybe something you would put in the talk page. Go over to the talk page and be like, "Hey guys, whoever maintains this, which is you, it's sort of a message for yourself."
Right.
You're saying like, "Can
It's
you
like
make
a note to yourself.
Yeah, can you make sure to
Note to
update
self.
this whenever my body consumes Dr. Oz's body and I sort of become a new version of him?"
Yeah. Just to simplify it. Okay.
You know, I find it interesting, London, that
Mhm.
you're against consuming Cameron's bodily foods, but you're so apt to consume Dr. Oz's body. What's that about?
It's absorption. It's I don't know if you're familiar with
different.
how
Understood.
an amoeba works, but
Yeah.
Right.
it's not.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
not the
When you're
same.
growing on the tree, you grow like two apples connected, and then it's a sad sight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
sad sight.
Ugh.
Dr. Linden, it says here political affiliation that you're a Whig. Is that up to date?
Oh, I thought that was a clothing section or the accessories.
Well, it's
So-
all part of the same. It's clothing and political affiliation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wear a wig for sure.
But I mean, it's WHIG. Is that?
Is that not how you spell? Well, you pronounce it wig, but
Oh, I guess that's true. Okay, so I guess
Dr.
that's
London,
accurate.
you should consider changing over to the Green Party.
what kind of hats do they wear?
Mostly green. We're very big supporters of like the nature, environment, Green Party. You know, I'm a part of it as an
Oh
apple.
wow. Were you a big like Jill Stein supporter?
Of course, how could I not?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll support anyone that comes through the Green Party doors.
I appreciate
Ooh,
people
okay.
who I want my politicians to look at the world like it's like magic, and that there's just like random like just magic things going on.
Right, exactly. You know, when you commit to a party, you got to commit to whoever they bring along. That's the rules. It doesn't matter who they are.
Until you Irish goodbye at the party. And then,
right,
then
exactly.
the rules are gone.
Yep, then the rules are over. After the Irish goodbye.
Dr. Lennon, it says here that you have 3 children. Do you want to go ahead and change that to 0 because of the
return policy? Yeah. I'm still debating because one's in the mail still, so it's like it's in transit.
Yeah.
It's another one of those scheduled upload type of things.
Yeah. Like once we get
you're a planner. I like that.
Once we get the delivery confirmation, then sure. But like.
Okay, so let's just put that on the talk page. Dr. London is waiting to reduce his number of children to 0 once he receives the UPS confirmation.
We can put it down to 2. To 1 for now.
Okay,
and we're almost there.
Okay, I mean, I made the change. I mean, Dr. Lennon, is that anything else on your page?
I think that's it. Yeah, the rest is just talking about my my charcuterie board that I'm working on. So.
Well, in that you're still trying to figure out how to spell. You're trying to figure out how to spell charcuterie board. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been over and I messed up, and I've been editing the charcuterie Wikipedia page as like kind of a result of it, trying to copy and paste.
Yeah, I was noticing that thing looks different every day.
Yeah,
you know, I'm a big frequenter of the charcuterie page.
Yeah,
you know, so
right.
All the big fans have been coming at me. Yeah,
well, especially
it's actually.
I imagine some of your friends are probably on that page in the form of like apple slices or something like that, right?
Oh, totally. Apple slices, applesauce. Sometimes you put it on there. You know, I got a couple grape friends. You know, I was talking about how grapes are really in. Wow. They're on there sometimes. Yeah. You get paid big money to be in a charcuterie board photo shoot, which often gets put on as the picture of the Wikipedia page, you know?
Which is the ultimate money grab, yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's
the peak of the...
I mean, let's look at your Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Big Apple. If we can take a look, is there anything you've been wanting to change? Is there anything that you're kind of like?
Yes, I have 2 things to change.
Okay.
My middle name on there is Marshall. Not anymore. I've changed it.
Oh, you changed your middle name. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone doing a name change just for their middle name.
Because Big Marshall Apple sounds bad, but I've now legally changed it to Big Ol O-L-E Apple. Big ol' Apple.
Oh,
have you considered an apostrophe?
I was about to say the same thing, Dr. London.
The problem with the apostrophe is it doesn't print out on your driver's license.
Oh, yeah, that's the one character that a driver's license
That's the one caveat. Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't find that out till you get there and you already pay the fee to change your middle name.
Yeah.
So now I've done it 2 times.
Man, it makes me just want to rant about my driver's license print jobs, but that's for another day. That's for another chore.
Now, the Big Apple, it does. I don't want to bring up, touchy things about the past, but it does bring up a DUI in 2003.
Yes,
in which you told the police officers that you'd like to take a bite out of their apple.
Yes, too much apple juice that night.
Yeah.
You know what? I have apologized for my actions many times, and I am not ashamed that I was a victim of something that many Americans go through every day, you know?
The apple juice addiction.
Oh.
And also stop and frisk.
Both. Stop and frisk and the apple juice victimization, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you don't want to make edits to this?
No, that can stay.
Keep it?
However, I would like to add a second DUI, which happened just a few weeks ago. Clearly, I didn't learn my lesson, and I'd like to hold myself accountable.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to add a second DUI that had not been added to your Wikipedia page yet.
Yes.
To be upfront and honest. I really like that.
I did say another fallacy to the officers in the moment. I said, hey, listen up, you officers. Get a load of these apples. And then I proceeded to run away out of the subway.
Oh, wow. And this was in the
Clearly
subway
did not
too.
make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They caught me for DUI on the subway, no less.
Oh, no, you were driving the subway intoxicated. That's really...
I was. Which is a whole nother charge that maybe we should also add underneath. Grand Theft Auto, the subway.
I mean... You're not. I feel like as the Big Apple, you should be allowed to drive whatever subway you want. Right?
You would think. But I guess the key to the city that I received only goes so far.
Only unlocks so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can get into Rockefeller Center whenever I want, but I can't drive the subway.
Oh, it's this system we live in. It's bureaucratic. There are all these legal whatever, and
there's always rules
Yeah.
and regulations.
But so that's 3D. Okay, yeah. So that should be your page looks immaculate. Now we got to go to Cameron's.
Thank you. Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, so Cameron, yours just has a big sticker on it.
Yeah, so my page has an under construction. I mean, it's a sticker, like you said, and it's sort of a GIF, and it's a man like digging, and he's throwing
the dirt over his shoulder.
The dirt around. So I
like
love
it. It's animated. It brings me in.
I'd love to give this guy maybe a little hat that could be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I mean, I know fedoras, like everyone made fun of fedoras a while ago, like, oh, you're such a fedora. But I feel like ska is gonna make a comeback really soon. And I feel like fedoras are such an important part of the ska just infrastructure.
You know, it's funny you say that. I'm producing a musical right now about ska music. It's all bananas, and they're all singing ska.
Oh, wow. Are the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones involved?
The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones are involved, but they're played by bananas.
Yes! This is my dream musical.
I'll reserve you some tickets. Don't worry.
Yes.
Because it was in his dream journal. That's not like hyperbole or anything. Like that's
wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, wait a second. Did I come up with this music? Where did you get the idea for this musical, Big Apple?
It just showed up on my doorstep one day.
I send your dream journals to a lot of people, and well, I was gonna say
he was doing you a favor. Yeah. He was doing you a favor.
Yeah, I guess you're welcome, Cameron.
Yeah, I guess if it got me free tickets to the show, then it's all worth it, huh?
I mean, your dream journal had it fully written out. Like, it was not just a concept.
Yeah, it had details, everything, cast.
Yeah. How the tickets
I got them all.
Stage directions.
Right? Everything.
Yeah.
Even down to the instruction of when we should turn the lights off outside the theater and back on.
Yeah.
Okay. Even down to the instructions to turn the light off. Okay. I'm adding this all to everything we're saying is being added to my Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Perfect. Yep.
Perfect. Yep. Okay.
Okay, and I think we got it.
Yeah, and thank you. I was kind of caught in a loop there.
Yeah, you were caught in a time loop there. That was pretty horrifying, actually. I didn't know how you were going to get out.
Well, I guess that's the end here. Well, thank you so much, Big Apple, for being on. Is there any way for our listeners to reach you or anyone you're a fan of? Any shout-outs you want to give?
Right, yeah, I got a few people to shout out. First of all, I'd like to shout out Lady Liberty. We've been going on a few dates. It's going pretty good. Yeah, she's a great girl. Next, I would like to shout out, let's see, who would I like to shout out? I'd like to shout out my godfather. He's a pretty nice guy, and told me that I had to shout him out. And finally, I would like to shout out the biggest fruit of them all, the apple from the Apple Jacks commercials. I've never met him before. I would love to meet. You know, that's the one guy. He left the group chat right as I joined. He was like, this town ain't big enough for two apples.
I heard he's a diva. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
I heard he's a diva.
No, that's all right. I've heard he's a diva too. But I don't like to judge apples by their skin until I meet them face to face, you know?
It's fair.
And
if you want to reach me, you can email me at thebigapple@apple.com because I also have some stock in Apple, the phone company, obviously. They use my likeness.
You had 2 ats in that email address, right? There were 2.
Right.
2 separate ats. Yep. Yeah, just making sure. And just separately on no related note, there's the Josh Romeo podcast.
Yeah, it's an affiliated group called the Josh Romeo Show. It's a weekly podcast. They do musicals. I have some stock in that as well. And you can find them also on TikTok, Instagram at the Josh Romeo Show.
All right. Yeah, so be sure to check that out. Let's see. I normally don't ask, but Cameron, do you have anything to promote? That documentary?
Yeah. If you would like a credit in the documentary, if you want your name in the thank you, please just go ahead and email me let me add my name to the documentary credits@gmail.com.
Great name. Gets right to the point.
But you don't have to see it or anything. Don't see it. It's really boring. It sucks.
Okay. Huh. So thank you.
It'd probably be better if you put a few watermelons, oranges in. That usually helps when you got a bad story.
Oh, that could be really... Honestly, replacing Dr. London with a watermelon in most of the scenes would make way more sense. Because it logically does not flow very well. But if they were watermelons, everything would connect all of a sudden.
It always does. It always does.
Okay. Well, all right. Thank you once again to Big Apple. Thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House. Dr. Oz is
Canceled.
Dr. Oz has
A DUI in 2003.
You know what? I have apologized for my actions many times, and I am not ashamed that I was a victim of something that many Americans go through every day, you know?
Dr. Oz is racist. A certain point in his political career is over. Dr. Oz's political career is over.
I did say another fallacy to the officers in the moment. I said, hey, listen up, you get a load of these, and then I proceeded to run away out of the subway.
My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.